it's me again. And in this second video, I will talk about one of my favorite horror movies named um, Vengeful Heart. And well, let's begin. The story starts as a Stern takes his newly wife on a vacation after her heart transplant. And after the transplant, Lynn kept encountering unexplainable incidents that dreaming about a strange house located in the countryside of Dalat. And 49 days later, she sleepwalks to the grave of Foon at an isolated area where she meets Tom, who is Foon's husband, and Tom brings Lin back to his tower, waiting for Sun to pick Lin up after informing him. And Lin comes to realize this is the house which she has kept dreaming about. Um, entering the house, she met Phương mother, called Miss Lệ, and Gu Ho, a friend of Phương and Tom. And Sun comes to pick up Lin. In the midst of talking, it's revealed that the heart which has been transplanted for Lin is from Phương, Miss Lê's daughter, also Tom's wife. Miss Lei gets emotional, therefore she invites both of them to stay at their house to join her late daughter's 45 days ceremony. Um, it's weird, right? Many weird and supernatural incidents begin to happen since they have decided to stay. Lin hates more sleepwalk incidents, while Sun keeps being haunted. Each release there seems to be a soul or ghost or something trying to warn Lin, and to the point Lin is unable to leave that house, is her heart will start beating once she does it. And finally, after being heavily haunted, Sun can't take it anymore and confesses that he causes the accident that killed Fung in the middle of the forest. And however, he was in a rush to the hospital, and Sun drove away. And after calling the police to inform the situation, the police named Xiao Yong invited him to the police station for a couple of questions. Thinking everything is coming to an end? No. Things are getting weirder as Stern claims that when he drove away, Fung was still alive and was not injured. She was just unconscious. However, the body found by the police were heavily crushed, or unable to identify later. Tom confirmed it was Fung, then took her body to back her for the funeral. Guho discovers that Lin's blood type to be O. Therefore, she couldn't be able to get explained by Fung, whose blood type is AB. Later, Lin and Kuho find a funeral table with the picture of Hong, who is allegedly Tam's personal partner. Right after knowing that Hong is missing, Kuho drives Lin to the flower farm where Tam is working a night shift. And Lin has in intuition, so he insists Tom to drive her back to the abandoned house on Ma Hill, which turns out Fung is still alive and he's been locked inside for months. Um, Fung says Hong is Tom's mistress and they had more death due to their failed business. And no one Tom wouldn't divorce Fung because Tom truly loved Fung and leave her deals on Dave's alone. Hong had separately tested and told Fung to go to the abandoned house on the Mata Hill in order to know the truth about her husband. And Fung was hiding outside and heard the full story, which later did she know that Tom his home with the silver, the silver later, and Fu terrifiedly ran away while was chasing her. And after she was about to get close to outskirt of the wood, Fung got hit by Sun while carelessly crossing the road. And Tom hid until Shang rode away. Fung was still alive and kept warning that she would report this situation to the police. And Tom decided to switch Fung and Hong's clothes and locked Fung in the basement. Then Tom carried barely conscious Hong to the road where Fung got his previously. And Tom used Fung's car to crush Hong until she was completely dead, and then made the false statement about Fung that she was in the accident in which her face fully crushed. Actually, the heart Lin carries is from Hong, and Kuho calls the police right away. However, he is hit by Tam, while Lin is chased by Tam in the woods. As she's about to reach the outskirts, Lin suddenly falls like Fung did. Tam intends to kill Lin, but the god chef Hans shows up to save her. And being terrified to see Hong, Tam is done as Hong is staring at him. And then the police arrive and Tam tries to escape. However, he gets hit by a truck. It's weird. So terrified. Fung reconciles with her mother. Lin and Sung are happy together, and the movie ends with the scenes in which Guho is taking Fung to sightsee on the boat. And Fung also discovers Guho's unrequited love for her after a long, long time. And just after 3 days of on release, Vengeful Heart has broken many cinema records in Vietnam, taking on 24 billion VND down. No, 24 billion VND. Is about 1 point uh, 1.40 million dollar, equivalent to 300,000 moviegoers, and the latest thriller of Vengeful has become the highest grossing movie of all time in Vietnam, smashing records made by American blockbusters like Avatar, Iron Man 2, and even Charlie Win's Young Tale. And this film suffers your expectations multiple times in a clever way, and the psychological horror of the first half or so of the film is quite effective. It does an admirable job of helping you emphasize with Lynn as you are just insured as her about what's going on. Well, the unexpected fate of the villain at the end of film is abrupt, as it seems the film builds the case against them so quickly, and there's not the time so feels it as if they deserved what happened to them, and thought that was They dove to one of the late added characters was surprisingly brutal. The only somewhat unrealistic aspect of this was that they are motivated by desperation into actions. Yet only a few sequences later, they are eager to stab someone in cold blood. Well, and last but not least, just a minor note: the husband of the main character, Lin, is very unlikable and his action selfish. I was surprised at his final sense of the film because I assumed things would turn to different based on his attitude and action for the movie. Well, anyway, I think this is one of the most remarkable horror films of Vietnam. If we don't take some details seriously, Vengeful Heart is quite good. And I believe that if you are a big fan of horror movie, you should watch this film. You should watch this film once to immerse yourself to its thrilling story. That's it. Thanks for your listening.